I woke up one day and I realized that although I've been building my Imperial army bigger the past year, I still am not satisfied. So today, I'm going to be building the biggest Imperial army I possibly can in just 24 hours in hopes of bulking up my army even more. Utilizing vintage sets, custom minifigures, alternate builds, and much, much more. Here are my results.
Attention, scum. I am Darth Vader, and...
Hey, you'll have to wait outside.
What?
We don't serve droids here.
In hour one, I got this OG ATST set from 2007 sealed in a new box, which is so cool to see because on the back, there's other legendary sets from the time. But let's open this puppy and see how well it holds up today. And here it is, an almost 20-year-old ATST design, and honestly, it's a bit better than I was expecting. But before we get into the build, look at these instructions, man. Isn't this just beautiful? 2007 was so classy. Anyway, looking at the build, it's obviously a bit dated for 2025 standards and is a very square looking design because of there being less pieces for LEGO to use in 2007. But since the set was sealed, it was really nice opening up these parts and this pilot minifigure and having them in pristine condition. And one thing this set actually does better than modern day ATSTs is the printed parts in the back. Wow, they are perfectly aligned and great quality compared to stickers. But with that being said, let's add this ATST to our army and continue in hour two.
I've prepared your bath, Master. Conquer now, tubby time later. Let's go.
But my castle...
In hour two, I wanted to keep the Endor theme of our army going, so I purchased about 10 modern Scout Trooper minifigures because I needed some, and although these minifigures cost about $8 each, they're definitely worth it because they're currently LEGO's best modern Imperial minifigure, and it's not even close. But I think LEGO should definitely start making some more Endor sets so we see these guys more often. Anyway, they look amazing lined up together, so let's give them each some blasters and add them to the collection so we can continue with some more builds in hour three.
Don't get me wrong, Lord Vader. I'm all for ruling the galaxy. That's my thing. But you remember what happened to the first Death Star?
Yes.
Oh, right. You were...
In hour three, I bought 5 of these Imperial Dropship versus Rebel Speeder sets for only $25 each on LEGO.com because I want to make some cool alt builds. So let's open these sets up and get building.
A few moments later.
Here's the first build so far. You can guess what it's going to be in the comments down below. And here is the finished build. We have not 1, but 2 Imperial fighter tanks that look absolutely amazing. These were designed by Kodianer Bricks and use some really nice shaping and build techniques all throughout the tank. But after these 2 fighter tanks were built, I had a ton of extra pieces left over, so I decided to take the last set and spruce up the dropship quite a bit. So here we have a mobile command station that can be dropped off into battle, just like with the regular dropship. Wow. It features a main gunner station that has some shielding and a swiveling turret, 2 turrets on the sides using the Stormtrooper's blasters, and a seat for a commander in the middle, who I'm actually going to replace with an officer. And overall, even if this build looks a bit clunky, I had a lot of fun building it, and I think it adds some uniqueness to our army. With that being said, let's add all these Stormtroopers and builds to our army and continue in hour 5.
Self, cover me.
Yes, sir.
In hour 5, I realized that we need more Stormtroopers in the army because we almost have more Scout Troopers than Stormtroopers at this point. So I built up another 20 Stormtroopers to bulk up our army, as well as making one of our Stormtroopers a commander with this special orange pauldron. Now, unfortunately, they didn't all come with blasters, but I still think we have an awesome lineup of Stormtroopers here. So let's add them to our army and build them some air support in hour 6. In hour 6, I wanted to add some Starfighters to our Imperial army, so I purchased a TIE Bomber and TIE Interceptor in used condition, which took about an hour off camera to build because they were each disassembled a fair bit. Anyway, these are some of my favorite Imperial builds from the last few years, so I definitely wanted to pick up a few more for the video, especially the TIE Interceptor, which is honestly a perfect build in my opinion, and looks even better with this makeshift stand I made it. But these sets didn't come with any minifigures, so let's add the builds to our army and build some custom minifigures in hour 8.
Someone has trained you well.
You have no idea!
Who are you guys?
Master Skywalker.
My son. I mean, these binary sons, sure are
In Hour 8, I was thinking about some custom minifigures I've always wanted in my Imperial Army, Task Force 99. Now, if you didn't know, Task Force 99 is basically the Imperial version of the Bad Batch. They're also genetic defects, but they wore Stormtrooper armor and each had special weaponry. So I'm going to take these 6 Stormtrooper minifigures and turn them into Task Force 99. Let's start with Strap, who is basically the explosives expert of the group. I think I'm going to replace his torso and helmet with these Patrol Trooper ones from Solo, give him some custom arm printing, a thermal detonator, and a small brick-built flamethrower that we can all imagine is attached to his custom backpack. Next in the group, we have Misty, the sniper of the unit. Unfortunately, there isn't a way we can put a hood over a Stormtrooper helmet, but let's give him this poncho from Obi-Wan and a custom DLT-19X targeting blaster. Next up, let's build Cav, the group's melee specialist and tracker. Let's give him a first order artillery torso to hold all his other melee weapons with, as well as this small dagger. Moving on, we have Arrow, the engineer of the group, so let's give him a clone pilot torso, as well as this Imperial cadet helmet, and for a weapon, he can just use the standard E11. But next up, with one of my favorite members, we have Zook, a bulky guy with armor who literally carries a whole Mordor on his back. First, let's give him this Dark Trooper armor to add that extra height and width to his figure, as well as this neck brace, which will help us use the dual-molded Stormtrooper helmet alongside the armor piece, as well as a brick-built Mordor on his back and a custom rocket launcher for him to carry. And finally, to lead the squad, let's make Sergeant Creel. First, let's add some arm printing, then let's give him a orange Commander Pauldron from a Sand Trooper, and as far as weapons go, he gets an E11 blaster as well as a green lightsaber because he's going to Aura Farm when he fights the Rebellion. Now, with that being said, here is our Task Force 99, and although there are many limitations with different pieces and exact print details, I'm still super happy I have these guys in my collection. Anyway, let's add our Task Force 99 to the army and continue in Hour 9.
Come on, rise already, get up, wakey, wakey! You owe me, Luke Skywalker.
Yes, my lord. My spies and bounty hunters are very close to finding him. I promise.
I hope so, for your sake.
In Hour 9, I received another set in used condition, being the Imperial B-wing from 2011, and it's the first V-wing I've ever had in my collection. And this set is awesome. The overall shaping of the build honestly lives up to today's standards, in my opinion, and the way you can go from landed mode to flight mode with the wings is amazing. Not to mention, the pilot included with this set is also great, with a ton of intricate printing on his helmet. And even though the Starfighter is pretty small, it's definitely going to be one of my favorite additions to the collection in this entire video. So let's add it to our army and continue the challenge in Hour 10.
Found them. I am so awesome. Anyone who laughs gets tossed through that wall.
Hour 10, I wanted to put a classic spin on the challenge and built up some OG Stormtroopers from 2007, with 4 regular Stormtroopers, 1 Sand Trooper, a Shadow Trooper, and an extra ATSC pilot. And I really love these classic minifigures. I haven't been collecting any of these like I collect modern figures, but that might change after this video because these Stormtroopers are really nice. The helmets especially stay so true to the original trilogy. Anyway, let's add these figures to our army and build some more specialized troops in Hour 11.
Tatooine. That would lead me back.
Hour 11, I thought it was time to add some more specialized Stormtrooper variants to the army. So I built up a Shock Trooper, ATDP pilot, Shadow Trooper, and 2 Hover Tank pilots. And although these are some great additions to the army, we're not done yet. I also built up 9 Sand Troopers because they're low-key the coolest Stormtroopers. I mean, Stormtroopers with backpacks and special gear, what's not to love? Anyway, most of these Sand Troopers have black pauldrons being regular enlisted troopers, with one having a white Sergeant pauldron and another having an orange Commander pauldron, giving us a nice squad of Sand Troopers that I'm definitely satisfied with. If only LEGO dewbacks were more affordable. But let's add these specialized troopers to the collection and continue in Hour 12 with a custom set.
Why did you say it like that?
One of my chest buttons got stuck. It happens from time to time.
In Hour 12, I was feeling like building something from Andor, so I'm going to be using the pieces from this TIE Fighter set, as well as 6 or 7 of these Millennium Falcon polywigs to create something epic. So let's get building. And here it is, the TIE Avenger. As seen in Andor Season 2, which took me about 3 hours to build and is designed by Kodiander Bricks yet again, this thing is amazing. The details on the back and the wings especially are really intricate and just give off advanced Imperial weaponry vibes. There's even rockets on the inside of the wings. But there's only one problem with this set, the minifigures. The regular TIE Fighter minifigures are okay, but let's spruce up the figure selection a bit more by building a squad of custom printed range troopers. These range troopers are also based off Andor Season 2 and feature white blasters, rocket launchers, fur coats, and even printed waist capes. So with everything included, this set with minifigures costs around $100 total, which is in my opinion definitely worth it. So let's add the TIE Avenger and minifigures to our army and continue in hour 16.
Who do you think you are? I'm you. No, you're me.
Any idea what the protocol is?
In hour 16, I wanted to build some rarer minifigures, so I built up 4 different shore troopers, a Min-Band officer, and a Special Forces clone trooper. LEGO seriously needs to re-release shore troopers because just these 4 cost at least $100, which is insane. Also, the Special Forces clone trooper, who is technically wearing a Stormtrooper helmet, is missing his pauldron, but I don't really mind. He's a cool addition to the collection regardless. Anyway, let's add these expensive troopers to the army and continue in hour 17.
Oh, come on. What ship could be so amazing that you wouldn't realize you were in the middle of a space battle?
I'm not gonna lie, hour 17 is kind of a filler hour, but I did receive some extra parts that we can use to spice up our minifigures. So let's add dual molded legs to these Terran officers, as well as Ray Sloan, who is the last Imperial officer in my collection to not have dual molded legs. And even though we didn't make a huge contribution to the army this hour, something big is coming in hour 18.
N1 Naboo Starfighter, an old Republic classic. Pristine, still has the chromium undercarriage. I must.
Hour 18, I thought it was time to add the final build to our collection, an Imperial Star Destroyer. I bought this set used without any minifigures, but boy is it worth the price. It's one of the best modern LEGO Star Wars playsets, no question about it. And this set fills my desk up quite perfectly, so there's really not a lot of room left to expand the army at this point. But don't worry, I have one more surprise waiting for you in hour 24. Yeah, I'm just rounding up to hour 24 at this point.
I can hear you talking and him breathing and... Grandpa? Grandpa!
Yup, that's me. Wait, Grant?
Ah yes, hour 24, the hour where we reflect on the army we built over this very long day. But I think our army is missing just one thing. We have a wide variety of troops, builds, etc., but we don't have anyone to lead our army into battle. I just so happened to order this custom Darth Vader upgrade kit, which includes a special torso print, a large cape, and extra tall legs to give Vader the extra height that's lore accurate. And honestly, I didn't know how much I needed this upgrade before I saw it in hand, but wow, Vader looks so much more intimidating with the larger cape and taller legs. I'd say this is definitely a minifigure suitable to lead our Imperial army, but here it is, our 24-hour Imperial army. There's about 100 minifigures in the army, but that's not the impressive part. I think this is actually my biggest 24-hour army when it comes to builds. We have 9 good-sized builds in just 24 hours with over 4,500 pieces. This was a real grind to get done in time, but I could not be happier with the result. Anyway, I want to give a huge thanks to TPC Lego on Instagram for helping me get my hands on a lot of the items in today's video. And with that being said, let me know in the comments down below what your favorite minifigures and builds are from today's video. And I'll see you all in the next video. Have an amazing day. Peace out.